When I was in high school, I had crippling, terrible social anxiety, man. It was so crazy. There was this one time I was trying to get a fork, just a fork, just to eat my lunch, because I didn't have a fork at the time. I remember I had to pass through not that much people in hindsight, but to me, it was a lot of people. At the time, I thought they were all looking at me. Every single one of their eyeballs were glued on my movements. I felt the pressure building inside of me. I felt just terrible to my stomach. It was a terrible feeling, man. I felt everybody was observing me, observing what I was doing, and looking at me. It was so bad to the point I almost started crying. I felt the tears start to build up in my face. It was terrible. Such a terrible feeling. But what was the main issue at the time? What was the main issue? No, I was in my head. Nobody was looking at me. And even if they were, they probably didn't care. This is how I overcame my crippling social anxiety. Ever since I was young, when I first left the place I was born in, New York, we left in about 2015. And at the time I was in fourth grade. What's the fourth grade? Wait, so 15, 16. Okay, fourth grade. I was in fourth grade in a new elementary school. It wasn't bad in hindsight. Like, obviously I didn't know a lot of people. But ever since I've left my home, or the place I was born in, these things started to build up. I remember I felt so alien. Everything just felt so alien, man. It's like you knew the place that you're in, but you didn't feel comfortable. You didn't know anybody around you. It was such a terrible feeling, man. But why do we have anxiety? Most of the time, it comes out of just not knowing what's going to happen. Not knowing what's going to happen, and also just being in an unfamiliar situation, being so stuck in our heads that we think that everybody is noticing our every move. Truth is, nobody really cares. Nobody is observing you 24/7 based on your emotions and whatever. It's all in our head. The issue is you're in your head, man. You have to get out of your head. How do you get it out of your head? Just take a deep breath. Like, let's do it with me. Do it with me. You want to inhale, and you want to exhale. Breath work is literally going to be the key to getting, at least minimizing your anxiety. Oftentimes when we're anxious, we breathe from our chest, which causes us not to have as much oxygen flowing through our system. So one of the best things that you can do is try to breathe from your diaphragm or your belly. You want to make sure that you take deep, long breaths and make sure that you can feel every inhale and every exhale. This, especially even if you just practice it a few times a day, would really help you, man. It really helped me too. I remember there's times I would meditate and just, when I felt so anxious, I would just count to 3 or count to 5 and just center myself in what I'm trying to do. But another thing that really helped me was obviously getting myself out there. When you're in a new location, in a new place, you have to get yourself, basically you have to just keep moving, pushing yourself out there. Even when it does suck, you have to put yourself out there. Even I would say, if you can, if you're young, maybe you're like 14, 15, 16, get a job. And obviously to seek discomfort, because those are going to be the things that really build you as a person. You're going to get stronger every motion and every move that you do take. And it's a good feeling. But getting a job has really helped me. I've spoken to so many people. It's like back then, it was so difficult to even just say, hey, how you doing, or good morning to somebody. But now it just comes off the cuff. I've even seen it in my brother and my own family too. We weren't the most anxious, but obviously when we did leave, we all got our jobs and all started working. I've noticed even he starts to say good morning to a lot of people, more people, and we're obviously more friendly and more social. But another thing that can really help you is just realize that it's the hard truths, but nobody really cares. Nobody's really noticing your every emotions 24/7. They're probably noticing how you think people are noticing your every actions. which obviously makes you come off as you're insecure, which insecurity is never a good thing. But it's harder said than done. It's harder done than, well, said than done. It's easier said than done. Okay, it's easier said than done. Obviously, so everybody can say that nobody cares about you, your actions, or whatnot. But it's really something that you have to build in within yourself. Put yourself out there and just start doing harder things. Talk to more people. Talk to, if you're worried about talking to girls, I would say, and literally, this is what I did, like when I was like very, very anxious, and I still sometimes do now. But if there's like a cashier, like I'm gonna put y'all on game, right? But if there's a cashier, right? If it's a female cashier, a woman cashier, a girl cashier, whatever. Okay, girl cashier. Just go up to her and ask her how she's doing and stuff. Even if it sucks and it's annoying. Like, that's why I would say, another thing, if you're trying to get more comfortable, is just start talking to cashiers. Ask them how they're doing. Start a conversation with literally anybody. And you'll realize that it's literally so easy. It's not as bad as we portray it to be, because obviously the image that we portray in our minds is always going to be seen as more difficult, more harder, and just more scary than how it actually is in real life. It's something that even sometimes I still struggle to with this day. Just getting out of my own head. It's losing anxiety. But again, it's a journey. You just have to keep putting in the work to get rid of it. And just remember that it might always be with you for the rest of your life, but there's ways to control it and minimize it. But the topic of the video, or the lesson today, man, what I would say is, anxiety really is in your head. It's a terrible, terrible spirit that every single one of us has, or has dealt with at some point in their lives. You just feel that feeling inside of you, just eating up. Terrible feeling, man. I even want to tell a story, man. Bro, it was so bad when I was young. It was so bad, like 16, 15, it was so bad. I remember there was this time that it was after high school. I think, no, it was a, like, testing day. You had testing and the buses dismissed early. We were all finished with our testing, and they tried to get me to play a game with them. Or my classmates tried to get me to play a game with them. I had such of this bad anxiety in me. I couldn't even move, and I was so jittery too. It felt so terrible, man. But I thank God I was able to overcome this thing in my life. But definitely, man, if you like today's video, you know to just like, subscribe, whatever. But I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day.